Hey, today we are going to talk about new project. Not this one, about that one, Slice. From the thumbnail, I guess it's hard to tell what kind of car we have over here, but maybe it's something different. Maybe it's not BMW. Maybe it's not E46, maybe. Slice, help me. Thank you, you're really helpful. I'm going to destroy the cover because of you. Surprise, surprise. As I mentioned, it's E46 3 Series, a really popular model for drifting because it's quite cheap and easy to get. The body, it's a coupe. Yeah, it's coupe. This project has a catch. As you can see, lots of things already done. We didn't do that. The owner and other guys did some things. We definitely did some mistakes. We will talk about them. We will talk about how to avoid them and how to fix them. So let's begin with the interior. As you can see, it already has the roll cage. It has seat. It has the mounts for the seat. It has some kind of steering column, and I would love to talk about it. I bet you can already see the shape of the steering column. It's homemade stuff, and the biggest problem with it is that it's flexible. It doesn't have any kind of support over here. You can flex it really easily. It's okay, right now it's not bolted in, but anyways, this is wrong. You never do anything like that, because when you have a race, drift racing, rally, circuit racing, and etc., the steering wheel has to be as stiff as possible. You don't want to play around with your steering wheel. You want it to be stiff. So definitely we are going to rebuild, and we are going to build the steering column with additional support for the front end, so it can support, and it will use different bearings, one bearing at the front and one at the back, so it supports the ends of the shaft. Additionally, what I don't like, and I think it's old school and we don't do these things anymore, making the brackets for the steering column. You're welding them on the roll cage, but from my perspective, there's no point of doing that, because it limits the adjustability. Then you have custom-made bracket that you can put on top of the roll cage or on the bar. You can adjust it, you can switch your position, and etc. When you have something like that, it limits you, and yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Additionally, this car uses OEM shaft, parts of the OEM shaft, and etc. And it uses a hub. The owner a little bit cut some pieces of it. He was thinking about making it properly, but anyways, when you have a quick release and you are not using the OEM steering column, it's just simpler and easier to build the shaft with the splines that fits the quick release, rather than having multiple parts playing around and making a bigger mess. Let's talk about the hydraulic handbrake and the shifter. One thing is that with hydraulic handbrake, everything is fine. One thing that I don't like and I never use, and I prefer not to use, telling you don't do that, is having the reservoir over here inside the interior, and why it's wrong. Imagine you want to refill, change the fluid, and etc. You have your clean, beautiful interior, painted, and etc. You're opening the cap, pouring the brake fluid, and ruining your paint. So it's better to have the pipes and brake lines to the engine bay, put reservoirs over here, and not to mess your interior. So don't do that. This is old school and cheap way, but do it properly. Talking about the shifter, we are not going to use it. The owner had one idea, but he started to build this car, I think 3 years or 4 years ago. And yeah, he had idea that he's going to use a manual gearbox, but we are going to use something different. So guys, try to guess what we are going to use for this build, and maybe we'll have some gifts for the correct answers. And the last thing from the interior that I want to talk about is the pedal box. The pedal box is from NP parts, like the shifter and the hydraulic handbrake. The thing is that it uses two cylinders for the brake, like normal pedal box. One is for the front, one is for the back. It also has hydraulic cylinder for a clutch, and it has wire type throttle pedal. And I will give you a hint. We are going to remove something from this pedal box. So maybe it will help you thinking about the gearbox. So these were good parts of the build. Now let's talk about the worst part of the build that we will have to fix somehow. And let's talk about the mistake that was made and what you should avoid. From what you can see, strange part of the metal of the panel is missing over here. So the owner didn't know what to cut and what must be cut. So he decided to take one of the body kits that he had, and he just simply cut around and removed important structural part. Because most of the time, if you want to cut back of your car, you should cut it from over here, from here, and from the inside you can see where I marked with a chalk marker. We are using chalk marker because it's easy to clean up if the markings are not correct, rather than using the paint marker. So you could at these parts and something around here. But the most important thing is that you're leaving the panel. Here it's okay. It's enough metal to put on the body kit. Here a little bit went too hard, maybe with angle grinder, but that's okay. So here's okay, here's okay pretty much, and this part is the worst, because if you would remove the whole back end, cutting off from here, and from here, this part lacks of support, and we would love to keep it as it is in order to use the trunk mechanism. We definitely can put some quick releases and etc. just to take off the trunk, and that would be fine, but I prefer, and I think that it's just easier way to do, is just to use a mechanism to put on the trunk. It's really light, so you can open it, you can pour in the fuel if fueling is over here, and that's it. It's really easy to use. Right now, if we would remove these pieces, this part would be like non-structural piece of shit. So don't cut too much. In case that you want to cut your body panels, just take a look on the internet, what others do, how much we are cutting. There are lots of Formula Drift, Drift Masters builds that are the best builds in the market, and you can take a look into them and understand how much you have to cut. And if you are doing that by yourself, just by looking into the photos, you will have a clue what to do and what not, rather than taking some parts and cutting around and etc. Because this body kit, it was up to here, I think, and for example, HKK body kit ends over here. So you are having a huge gap that you are not able to fill if you decide to change body kit to a different brand, because not all of them gonna have the longer panels. You're not going to save any kind of weight by cutting this piece. Trust me, it's pointless. And it adds structural flexibility, and you're going to mess your car body. So what we are thinking right now and what we are planning to do, we're still talking with the owner what kind of body kit we are going to use, but at the end of the day, it's possible that we are going to take just some other panel, we are going to remove it as body repair guys do. We are going to remove the outside part, cutting it from here, and putting back this piece up to the spot where it should be, and then we are going to cut it again the proper way. At the back, as I mentioned, we are going to cut off the rails. Additionally, we are going to remove this metal piece. Why we are going to do it? The popular term in drifting is wall tap. Every time you wall tapping with metal pieces, you're not going to put it back the way it was, and it's gonna spin your back end of the car, and it's better to have the tubular crash bar rather than having OEM rear end, so you can just simply remove it and put the new one in case of huge crash. I'm talking about body panels. It's even easier. You're going to use Kevlar or fiberglass, so in case of a crash, you just simply remove some bolts and that's it. You're able to replace wall panel. That's the way we are planning to do, because this owner spent like tons of money on this project, and we talked with him. Hey, you already did a lot, so maybe it's better to do it properly. And he said like, yeah, let's do it, guys. He's still thinking about the body kit because he was not a big fan of the ones that are available, and we can talk about it. Let's talk about the body kits of E46. As you remember, we are building E90 body kit. There are no drift body kits for E90s, so we are like, hey, let's build it. But what about E46? There should be plenty of them, right? Wrong. We already know 2 of them that covers the whole rear panels, not just over fenders, and both of them are not the ones that the owner likes. So we are still thinking what to do. And we were thinking about building the body kit for E46. But what's the point? We believe that it's getting old, not too many drift cars are gonna be built on these chassis. I think and I believe that more and more E90s and E92s are gonna be used for drift builds. The only problem with E92s and E90s that the steering lock kit is crazy expensive when you are comparing to this one, which is much cheaper and easier to build. Additionally, the rear end and the rear suspension of E90 is also much more difficult than this one. This one is pretty easy and pretty easy to build and to have modifications and etc. So the price tag for the entry of the cars are much bigger for the E90 and E92 than E46. But when you are comparing, when you need some parts, these cars are getting old and the parts gonna be harder and harder to get. While E90 and E92 is quite fine, and the parts should be easy to source and to use, like the headlights. But let's continue about the body kit. As I mentioned, we are not going to build a body kit for E46 because market is not over there anymore. Just building it for fun or just to have the one that would fit us, I think it's economically unwise, and that's why we are not going to do it. But we are going to build definitely lots of other stuff for this car, but it's gonna be a little bit universal, and we will be able to use it for E90 build, E92 build, and maybe for some kind of other builds. Because as you understand, E-series chassis already getting old, F-series chassis, there are some builds already, G-series, there is Andrius Vasiliauskas who built something, and there's Red Bull brothers who built something, but you know, we are big fans of 4 doors. Okay, so while guys are working, it's time for a cup to have a drink. Yeah, Taudre? Yeah, and have a story time. But no, let's talk a little bit what this car are gonna use, what we already know, what we are going to disclose right now, because we are not going to disclose everything. So first thing that you already noticed, this car gonna use IRP wide angle kit, and it has IRP strut bar at the top of the strut towers. There's one thing wrong with this: you are not able to cut the tops of the strut bars and it would be much better to do it because you could change the camber much easier rather than just playing around, removing the shock absorbers and etc. So yeah, definitely gonna talk with the owner about this because also by cutting the tops of the strut towers, you're able to reinforce and weld top pieces of it, so it's gonna be much stiffer and more reliable. Additionally, this car using the field suspension, from my perspective, it's one of the best options for drift. In the back, we got 2 brake calipers. That's the preference of the owner. I'm driving with 1 caliper on my E90. I don't have any kind of problems with that, but some of the drivers don't like that feeling when you are pushing the brakes and you can feel it in your handbrake, or it's the same when you are holding the handbrake and you are pressing the brakes, you can also feel some resistance. Additionally, we are going to use M3 differential with some sport output shafts. So yeah, we will see. We have to bring it for some modifications to increase the percentage of the lock for the LSD. Not that kind of LSD that you were thinking about, Svice. I saw his eyes. That art people. What else? We are looking for a fuel cell. There are 2 options. One option is to use OEM fuel tank, or we can use a racing fuel cell. What we talked with the owner right now seems like we are going to use the racing fuel cell at the rear end of the car. And now let's talk about the electricity. First of all, we are going to use ECU master, PMU, power management unit. Also, we are going to use EcoMaster Black ECU, EcoMaster ADU. So there are gonna be no relays or fuses. Everything gonna be from these days. And yeah, definitely more reliable than fuses and relays. When we are talking about the engine, we don't have much to say about it because we didn't build it. It's gonna be M54 turbo, and we will see how it's gonna hold on. We didn't build it. I'm not a huge fan of these older engines. I would go for V8 in my opinion, but this was the preference of the owner. And the last thing about the cooling, we are going to put the radiator and everything else at the back, so it's gonna be more crash safe. In case of the crash, the radiator at the front end not gonna be damaged, and it should be easier to fix. Guys, don't put this kind of tape on the car body. It's a real nightmare to remove, and you should never use anything like that on the car body. Additionally, don't weld the spots where the trim gets onto, because trust me, the car with the trim around the windows and etc. looks much better. You are not gonna save too much of weight, but your car gonna look properly, the design gonna be much better. So keep these things. There is no point of doing that. So yeah, we still have to remove this kind of bullshit. We have to do some measurements. We are going to install the motorsports heater. So yeah, lots of things to do. Don't forget to subscribe so you will see the progress of this build. And if there is anything important and interesting for you that you would love to see and to understand and for us to share, please let us know in the comments so we can film them, so I can prepare this content, right? Yep. And we will be able to do our mission, to succeed at it, to share and to build the community. So, enough of talks, let's get to works. Okay, I take bišķi. Oh, I'm working. Roka's gonna... Okay, bye. Bye, Slice, go to work. Go to work.